Welcome back here in Marianna, Florida on a beautiful Saturday right now for the 10th annual Paint and Pork. Here now with Jerry Thompson. Jerry's one of the vendors out here. So far, we have not gone hungry, and we have not gone without entertainment. Certainly, great people watching out here, if nothing else. Jerry, right now we're at your booth, and you've got homemade knives. When I say homemade, it makes it sound like more of a hobby, but it looks like you're pretty serious about it. I know for a fact that it takes many hours to do what you do out here. First of all, thanks for taking the time to carve out to speak to us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for asking me.
Is this the first Paint and Pork festival that you've been a vendor at?
It is, yes.
And you're here with homemade knives. You mentioned, and I guess I should know that it was one of your first events because you said you just started this within the last year or so?
I just started just a few months ago, actually. My pastor gave me the first spike, and I had seen guys make them on YouTube and other video channels, and I just said I was going to give it a try, and he ended up with my first knife.
It's pretty amazing stuff. Now, you've got knives here that have been made from all kinds of different sources of steel. I'm going to reach over here right now, and I'm going to grab one of these railroad spike knives. I'm going to let you hold on to that. Tell me what we're looking at right there now.
This is it's a high carbon railroad spike. It starts out just in a rusty raw form, and I put it in a forge. I get it hot and I start hammering it out. I really let the steel tell me exactly the shape it wants to be, and as I go, the knife evolves, and it takes about anywhere from 6 to 10 hours from the time I first heat it till the time that I finish it, and that's just hands-on 6 to 10 hours.
Now, Michelangelo said that every statue that he ever produced from marble was there. He just had to remove those pieces which were not part of that statue. So it sounds like your philosophy is similar. You're letting the steel tell you what you should be doing.
Exactly.
I've never seen, and actually I was unaware that the steel in a railroad spike was of a quality that would produce a knife, but obviously that's the case.
It is. A lot of the first knives used in cutlery were high carbon steel, and the railroad spikes, especially the older railroad spikes, are very high carbon steel. They will rust. I mean, it's just like any good cutlery, it'll rust, but it will sharpen and hold an edge a long time.
Now, in addition to the railroad spikes, obviously you're making knives out of other materials here. You just mentioned that you had a skill saw blade that you used as part of one of your knives. What are the other things that may come into play when you start making your knives?
Well, I have a nephew, and he has a friend that does portable lumber sawing business, and they use a bandsaw, and it's a very large bandsaw. And he gave me a bunch of old blades, and I use it for fillet knives. It's high spring steel, and it's a high carbon also, and they work very well. They hold an edge, and the price was right for me.
Well, this is a very rewarding hobby. Not only do you get to possibly make a few dollars, but more importantly, you get to be artistic, and yet you're providing a function, and you're probably providing somebody with a tool that they're going to cherish and actually use for many years to come.
Yes, sir.
What got you interested in making knives?
Well, I've always liked knives. I've always, since I was a young boy, and my son is the same way. I just always been fascinated with knives, pocket knives. I don't make any folding knives. I just make the straight knives, the solid blade. But the knives are getting harder and harder to find a good quality knife. And the knives that I make, especially the steel, the spike knives, can be passed on from generation to generation.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that really impresses me. First of all, these railroad spikes are old to begin with.
Yes, sir.
And then you're taking something which typically would be either used as a paperweight on somebody's desk or thrown away.
Right.
Or rust to nothing. And making it literally a piece of art. We're panning the knives now, and as our viewers can see, you've got not only some beautiful steel that you're using, but also the handles that go into the knives. Now, are you also the manufacturer of these handles?
Yes, I am. Yes.
So you're woodworking and metalworking.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about some of the handles that we're seeing here now.
Well, the natural wood handles I make, there's a leopard wood, and then there's a tiger maple, and the synthetic handles are made from, it's called micarta. I use either fabric dipped in fiberglass resin, or I use paper. And it doesn't matter really what you use. You put that fiberglass on it or in it, and it becomes virtually indestructible. So that's pretty much what I do. I make anything I use. I try to make myself.
Well, and I hope we're not cutting into any of your sales here. We got a few people coming by right now, and we're going to get out of your way. But thanks again for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yes, sir.
I'm fascinated. I would really like to find out some more information about you. Maybe do a little article in our magazine about what you're doing, and maybe follow your progress over time.
Great.
I think that would be really good. I think our viewers and readers would really like that too.
Thank you.
So Jerry, thanks very much for taking the time today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Here now with Jerry, looking at some of these gorgeous handmade knives. All the steel is worked by Jerry, and the woodwork that goes into the handles also done completely by Jerry. If you're not going to be able to get an opportunity to see the festival this year, because if you're watching this, we're already gone. Mark your calendars for next year. I believe it's done at about the same time in April each year. The next year will be the 11th annual Paint and Pork Festival. Hopefully we'll see you here, and we will be right back.